Hello and welcome to episode 292 of the Casual Try Hard podcast. I'm Brian,
And I'm James.
and today we're going to open up some rooms and understand mechanics
We're going to
from
open up some
Duskmorn.
doors and see
They're
what's in the rooms
doors?
beyond.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird. It's a weird mechanic.
So much architecture.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, today's all about Duskmorn mechanics. We had I don't even know what you call it, the announcement stream, commencement stream, whatever it is. In between when we last spoke and when we're recording now. And they revealed all the mechanics. We got some preview cards. We're not going to talk about all the preview cards today. We're just going to give an example of each of the mechanics, kind of like we usually do, and go through this in preparation for our set review. Maybe next week. Are we going to have all the cards next week, you think?
I don't know, maybe.
Because they've been fast and furious with the cards coming out so far.
They have. It's been surprising how quick.
Yeah. Although I
'cause
guess we have limited archetypes to do. So we'll do limited archetypes next week and then set review after that.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
So, if you want to reach out to us, give us some feedback, some thoughts, some things you want us to talk about, some rooms or doors or whatever you want us to discuss in the future. Uh, all that social media stuff's in the links. So Facebook, Discord, email, X gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is, unless you're in Brazil, all of that is all of that is there for you to come and interact with us. So say hey.
Did you, way off tangent, not even magic related, but did you hear over the weekend, or I guess read what Elon tweeted
No.
about how he's going to pipe Starlink into mobile phones in Brazil so that people can still use X?
Amazing. Got to do it. Got to do it.
Yeah. Must be nice to be a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this country internet. Click.
And being the pettiest human imaginable.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. I think those things kind of go hand in hand, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, back on topic. If you're looking to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. The first is our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Surf on over there, do whatever shopping you're going to do. You want to pick up some cards for new and invigorated standard, you can do that. If you want to pre-order Duskmorn stuff, you can do that. If you want to pick up all the stuff you didn't get from Bloomburrow, you can do that as well. But if you use our affiliate link, you'll be supporting the show at the same time, and we would greatly appreciate that. Like I said, the link is CasualTryHardMTG.com. Links in the description. If you want to support us more directly, you can do so at patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. If you go over there, chip a couple bucks in, you will get access to our unshow. We call it unshow because it's everything, unscripted, unedited, unplanned, Brian's leaving the room. You never know what we're going to talk about for the unshow. Just kind of us making sure our equipment works and what have you. You also get access to our show notes. So you get a sneak peek about what the upcoming episode is going to be about. Or if you just want to support the show. Like I said, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Chip a couple bucks in for any of the above reasons.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a bunch of mechanics to talk about.
We sure do.
And so we should get in there because I think some of these, maybe not the mechanics, but some of the stuff going on in this set seems like it will fit into some constructed formats pretty well.
Sure.
So first up, we have rooms.
Rooms.
Oh, hi, Mark.
This one's kind of a doozy. So these are basically split card permanents, which we haven't had before, right? There's no split card permanents up until now.
I mean, what do you want to call adventure? Right.
I
Like
mean, we
is
think
it,
of that as a split card, but is it really? Not
it's
really.
not
Like once
it's
it's
not
on the battle,
split.
yeah, once it's on the
Yeah.
battlefield, it is what it is. Um, so if you're following along on YouTube, you can see an example of a room card here. Room cards have two halves. They look just like a split card would in any other set. Each half, for some reason, is called a door, not a room. I don't know why that is, but it is.
Okay.
As you cast one of these cards, you pick one of the halves. So works just like a split card. Um, when you cast it, it's going to enter and it's going to do whatever the half that you picked does. So on screen we have Dollmaker's Shop / Porcelain Gallery. Dollmaker's Shop is 1 and a white. Enchantment Room. Oh, that's the other thing, is they are all enchantments. All of the rooms are
Okay.
enchantments with subtype room. So Dollmaker's Shop, 1 and a white. Whenever one or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. So that is what you would get if you cast Dollmaker's Shop. Porcelain Gallery is the other half. It's 4 white, also enchantment room. Creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number of creatures you control. So if you cast Porcelain Gallery, that is the half you would get. I think what's kind of weird is that, like, normally when you have a split card, that's what you, unless like Fuse, I guess, is different, where you can pay like a combined mana cost and cast both of them. Here, once the room is on the battlefield, say we cast Dollmaker's Shop at sorcery speed, but as a special action, you could open the door to Porcelain Gallery by paying 4 white. And then you get combined effects of both.
So it's kind of like a split card that you can like actually cast twice. Like you can cast it on turn 2, and then on turn 6 you could pay that 6 mana
Right.
for the other side.
Yep.
Or you could pay the 6 mana.
And then immediately pay 2.
Yeah, if that was somehow better.
Yep.
Can't think of why it would be better.
Yep.
If you just love running into Mystical Dispute,
Yeah.
then yeah, just do it that way.
Some of these will, like, these are both triggered abilities. Well, one's a triggered ability, one's a static ability, right? Porcelain Gallery is just an ability that happens, and then Dollmaker's Shop is a triggered ability.
Okay.
Am I reading that right or no? I think so.
Let's see here. So, okay. So I think it doesn't like so. Are they're both static abilities, right? Like
Well, right, but the Dollmaker's Shop makes a trigger,
fair, yes.
right? And then the Porcelain Gallery is just like a blanket thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
There are some of these that will have activated abilities and some that have ETBs.
Okay.
So when you are playing these room cards, like, you can kind of pretend that half of the card doesn't exist when you're casting it. And then later on, you can open it up to have both effects. So it doesn't matter if it's just a static ability or an activated ability or a triggered ability or whatever. Whatever half you chose is going to be what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there are also abilities that trigger on unlocking doors.
Okay.
Obviously, that will happen when you unlock a door. The article here also says the unlocking a door is only done at sorcery speed, so only when you're the active player and have priority, but it does not use the stack. So you can't do something in response to it. You can't, like, blow it up, and, like, it will happen.
The door will unlock.
The door will unlock. Kind of like morph, right? There's nothing you can
Yeah.
do in response to the morph. It just happens. See, this was a giant wall of text for this one, so I want to make sure I touch on everything.
Yeah.
So if one of these comes into play without being cast, like return a permanent to the battlefield, um,
Blanket.
blink it, whatever, both doors will be locked. So you don't pick a if it gets flickered or blinked or whatever, or like I said, enters the battlefield. Like if you show and tell this,
Mhm.
you don't get to pick a room. It's just on the battlefield.
Yeah, you effectively get
An
oh
enchantment.
gosh. Yeah, I was gonna say it's no, I can't think of it. Black only does something when it's in your graveyard.
Oh, a bridge
Bridge
from
from
below.
below.
Yeah,
Right? Like if you pay black back, you get an enchantment that has no text.
right.
And this is just an enchantment. It counts for an enchantment and that's it.
Yep. You can still unlock any locked door the same way you normally would, but you would have to do that to both sides, or only one side, I guess, if you only wanted one side. Um, and okay, so the other thing is while the room's on the battlefield, it has the characteristics of whatever is unlocked. So if
Mm.
Dollmaker's Shop is on the battlefield, it is a mana value 2 permanent.
Oh, that's weird.
If Porcelain Gallery is on the battlefield with Dollmaker's Shop locked, it is a 6 mana value permanent. If both doors are unlocked, 8 mana value permanent. Yeah, very weird.
Hmm.
Um,
That is, yeah, you'd think it would be like, I mean, I guess it's like what a split card on the stack is only the mana value of what it is being cast.
right. But a fused
So I guess
spell is
there,
both.
if you spell those both,
Yeah.
but like I guess you can think about it as like you cast one side,
Hmm.
and so it's that mana value, and then later you fuse it with the other side,
Yeah.
and so now it's the combined mana value. Okay.
Let me see. Okay, so the other thing is in your library, graveyard, and hand, the room value is it's
Both.
combined. Yeah, so the mana
Hmm.
values combined, the names are combined. It's all one thing anywhere outside of the battlefield.
Okay.
And I think that's it for rooms. I don't know. This is a weird mechanic. It seems like
It
they
is.
they went extra hard to try and make it confusing.
Yeah, and I mean like extra hard to like be like top down.
Yeah.
I will say that like kind of some of their like dopey dorky mechanics that we've had that were just like this is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Usually like play all right for limited.
Hmm.
I'm definitely not someone who's like, oh my god, like, ooh, I'm unlocking a door, like
Right.
getting all like happy flavor time. But like these mechanics were like, this is kind of dumb and hacky.
Hmm.
They have for the most part worked out all right.
Yeah.
No, I know I took a hiatus for a bit, but they usually work out all right.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't. I know you said that you watched some of like some of the previews that have come out
mhm.
since this first round or this article or whatever.
Yeah.
I really haven't had a chance the last few days to keep up with spoilers, so I'll kind of be going through them at a later point. Like this card doesn't feel super pushed though.
No, it doesn't. There's one that's like it's like 3 mana make a copy of a thing, and then like 5 or 6 mana double all the triggers of stuff that you play.
It's like a Panharmonicon.
Yeah, I remember the exact mana value.
Yeah. But like Dollmaker Shop, I don't think 2 mana is worth making a token when you attack with something, right?
No,
And
like if it didn't have the other side,
yeah,
you wouldn't be playable at all.
and is 6 mana make everything um Voice of Resurgence tokens playable. Like,
Voice of Resurgence.
yeah, power and toughness each equal the number of
Oh,
creatures you control.
oh yeah. Voice of Resurgence. Okay. Um. Uh. I mean, it's like Coat of Arms. Like, isn't Coat of Arms 5 mana?
Um,
But like, that being said, like Coat of Arms was maybe good 15, 20 years ago.
right,
I don't know if this effect is like not good in like modern like
right.
constructed Magic other than like Commander.
And like, I don't think stapling these together makes a meaningful card either.
No,
So,
no, I agree. It seems like it's not the way.
and I mean, this is a mythic, so I'm assuming this is what they consider pretty high power level.
You would think. Let me see if I can find because I had them up the other day. Uh, oops. Oh god. See if I can find the old Mythic spoiler here real quick. Uh, so there's oh, it's even worse. Mirror Room Fractured Realm.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you unlock this door, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it's a reflection in addition to its other creature types. So like we've seen that before. Like there's a 3 mana like clone.
Yeah.
And then Fractured Realm is 7 mana. If
Oh,
a triggered ability of a permanent you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time.
yeah.
Like that's so much mana.
That is a lot.
And that is also a mythic.
Yeah. But like, at
Um,
least with that one, like, the front half is okay. Like, there's decks that want a 3 mana clone.
yes, I think that's fine.
And then, like, maybe eventually you turn on the Panharmonic, but like, the card's playable at its face value. Like, this guy, I don't know. I don't know how much you value that 1/1. Although I guess this plays well with that current red white deck
Mm-hmm.
that just wants to make tokens. So maybe it's better than I
There,
think it is.
and then there's Funeral Room Awakening Hall, which is the black, and it's also a mythic. Maybe these are all like mythic. Whatever. So 2 and a black. Whatever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. And then for 8 mana, when you unlock this door, return all creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Hmm.
So like it's 6 black.
Yeah.
So like you could play this as that Bastion of Remembrance,
Yep.
like without the token, but like that's a fine card.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a big mana sink attached to it.
Yeah.
Um, so like maybe, but yeah, it doesn't seem okay. There's some rare ones too. Gosh, they are through so many cards in this set.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, here's an uncommon.
okay.
Smoky Lounge, Misty Salon.
We already have a third of the set.
Yeah.
It's
And we're,
wild.
was it 3 days in?
Yeah, like they're just like turboing this. Like, hey, who cares?
Yeah.
Let's get them all out here.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to say about rooms?
No, it feels weird, but
Yeah.
like
It's going to be one of those mechanics where you have to kind of play with it, I think.
also like um uh the tracking on this in paper is awkward too.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we don't design for paper anymore.
Right.
We just design for other things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. The tracking is not great. All right.
The
So,
rare land cycle is interesting.
oh, yeah. What's the rare land cycle?
Uh it's like they're untapped lands that tap for 1 color, and then they add another color if you control a plane like a land that they can type. So here's
Oh, that's
Flood Farm Verge is tap for a blue,
mhm.
and then tap add a blue, activate only if you control uplands or an island. So it's like
Wasn't
River of Tears,
yeah,
but River of Tears was on like it had to enter, didn't it?
maybe.
But like these seem pretty good.
Yeah, no, they do seem good.
Because like in theory, as long as you had like like there's not a red white one spoiled yet, but like um
Yeah, they're
like
only
the
allies.
okay, but like even like the red green decks, like if you had this and then like a forest or a mountain, like then you're like your land works and your mana's fixed.
Yep.
Like you just have to make sure you play a bunch of forests and mountains.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I like
But
these.
yeah, sorry, that just like showed up, and I was like, oh, those are interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't seen those yet. I really haven't been through this set though.
Yeah, this is like I didn't realize we were this deep in.
Yeah.
All right, so what is our next thing? What is our next?
Next mechanic is Manifest Dread. When you're instructed to manifest Dread, look at the top 2 cards of your library, manifest one of them, and put the other into your graveyard. So Manifest works exactly like it did in Fate Reforged.
Mhm.
I guess for people that haven't played Fate Reforged, it's just like Morph, except it can be anything, and you manifest from the top of your library.
Yeah,
It enters face down. It's a 2/2, colorless, no name, no mana value. Can be turned up for its mana value, whatever the mana value is of the card, as long as it's a creature. You can't turn face up lands or like instants or artifacts or planeswalkers or anything. It has to be a creature.
Mhm.
And you do that just like Morph as a special action. Except
so it
unlike
can't be
rooms,
responded to.
right? Unlike rooms, though, you can do this at instant speed.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of cool. I like this
Yeah.
mechanic. It like that was kind of the problem with Manifest is that you'd end up with a whole bunch of stuff face down that you didn't really want face down, and
Hmm.
you could never turn it up. Whereas here you get to pick.
Yeah,
Obviously,
which I guess in one hand doesn't super matter. Like you sign up with a 2/2 at the end. I guess yeah, like I said, there's a greater chance of it flipping up.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, the other card also goes to the bin. So Delirium is a mechanic that's coming back in this set, although it's not on my list here. So there's incentive for putting things in your bin.
mhm. Uh, yeah, like it could be like as the person casting, like there's a removal spell like white exile, like destroy a creature as an instant.
It's on the screen
And
right here.
manufacture it.
Unwanted
Okay,
remake.
there we go. Good job, me.
Single white mana for an instant. Destroy target creature. Its controller manifests dread.
So like you know, it's not. I think it's worse for you as the caster opposed to this being like just manifest,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's a
Just because
bigger
they stand a
drawback.
better
Yeah.
chance. Yeah, and like they put something in their graveyard, which could matter.
Mm-hmm.
They have a better chance at a creature,
Right.
but like so it's kind of like what was it was it cloak or disguise? Like disguise with
Disguise.
power crept morph.
Yep.
This is just power crept manifest now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Like maybe it's a lot better, but it does seem better.
Yeah. The interesting about this card, the unwanted remake, is that you could like target your own thing to like get something out of a removal spell, or if your
Yeah.
creature is indestructible, it doesn't have to die in order for the manifest to
Oh,
happen.
good point. Yeah,
So you could just tag something indestructible and then
it's a 1 mana 2/2.
yep.
At instant speed that like puts something in your graveyard. Like that could be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So I don't know. It's funny that we have that like it almost feels like we're running back like the cons block,
Yeah.
right? Like we had like cloak and disguise.
Hmm.
Then I guess we had a break with rabbits,
Yep.
and then now we have manifest again.
Yep.
It's just like just running it all back,
Hmm.
just playing the hits. All right, what is survival?
Survival is the next mechanic we're going to talk about. It's
Okay,
a triggered ability that triggers at the beginning of your second main phase. So after combat, um, only if the creature that has survival is tapped.
gotcha.
If a survival ability triggers, the ability will check again as it resolves to make sure the creature is still tapped. If it is, the ability resolves. If the creature is untapped at that time, it won't do anything.
Hmm.
So that's kind of odd. I'm not sure why that is. But the example we have here is Veteran Survivor. These are also all survivors. So the
Okay.
creature type will be Survivor for anything that has survival. Veteran Survivor here is a single white pip for a 2/1 human survivor, and it has survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if Veteran Survivor is tapped, exile up to one target card from a graveyard, and then as long as there are 3 or more cards exiled with Veteran Survivor, it gets +3/+3 and has hexproof. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't have to necessarily attack with it, like crewing a vehicle,
Yep.
saddling
Amount.
some sort of animal mount thing, yeah.
Yep.
And then
Convoke.
convoke, yeah. You just always you have all these little ways that like you can make a small creature become tapped without like it just dying.
Yeah.
I know the timing thing like makes this particular ability like not that good, right? Like it's better than not having it, like the exile thing, but like the fact you can't do it at like instant speed.
Well, yeah. But like, I mean, not that you were playing Graveyard Trespasser for just the like graveyard exiling part, but like that was
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
I guess it is similar. Yeah,
And
like
then
that was annoying for a graveyard deck.
I think the bonus makes this thing way better than Graveyard Trespasser. I guess the problem is you have to get there though. Like, how often is your white weenie gonna connect and exile something on turn 2, 3, and 4?
Basically, never.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's interesting. I don't know if it's that particularly high power. Like, if one of the abilities or the triggered abilities is like really good,
Yeah.
then like maybe that card makes it. But like as a mechanic, like there's too much that can go wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Like in the limited game, you're gonna be like annoyed that like something happens. Like there has to be one that's like draw a card
Yeah.
or like I guess maybe like rummage or loot,
Hmm.
like or like the blue one and the red one in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I wonder if there's
But
going to be any that are like self-fulfilling, like something that has a tap ability where it doesn't have to get into combat and then has survival.
oh, that'd be interesting. It could. Like
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I don't know what's. I was just looking at the card file here. I don't know what's been spoiled or not, so maybe that card's
Yeah,
already been
there's
spoiled.
there's so much. It just happens so fast now.
Yeah.
Also, like just random thing. There's a card called Meat Hook Massacre 2.
Yeah. I think that was in Maro's spoiler. His
Okay.
like list of things for the set.
Okay. Oh, they printed Pyroclasm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
at
straight up
Uncommon.
pyroclasm.
Pyroclasm.
Wow.
Was not expecting to see that.
Yeah.
And ethereal armor.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy moly.
that's an uncommon as well.
Wow. All right.
Um, as I like, go through the card file, like totally getting off survival. All right, so now we have Eerie, which is like better Constellation.
I mean, it's kind of just Constellation, but also triggers when you unlock a room. Or no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, when you have fully unlocked a room.
Okay, so when you've done both sides.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So like, yeah, so like you can perhaps do it twice because of like you could like in the same term cast it, get the trigger for ETB, and then the trigger for like the second unlock.
Yeah. I think some of these weren't super expensive, like on both sides. Like there was a gold one here. Smoky Lounge Misty Salon was 3
Mm-hmm.
for the red side and then 4 for the blue side. I mean, that's still 7 mana, but it's not 14 mana or whatever.
Yeah, like that. It could be like way too much to make that happen.
Yeah.
But like Constellation played well in Theros
Mm-hmm.
and like was standard playable, and we definitely know some people that may have played a Doomwake Giant in Legacy.
Oh, I mean, I played Doomwake Giant Standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like this could be a pretty good mechanic.
Yep.
Like this will see play.
I think so.
Like they've definitely put some stuff in the set to make it see play.
Mm-hmm.
Like the enchantment land
Yeah.
and stuff. So like they really want to have like free ways to trigger it for you
Right.
and stuff like that. So
What's
yeah, I
the
think
what's the example we have here for Eerie?
we have Scrabbling Skull Crab. It is a blue for an 0/3, and whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, target player mills 2 cards. It is like a tick with a skull,
Mhm.
and it no part of this is a crab, but
The creature type is crab skeleton. Like
yeah, that is not the art.
crab skeleton's just a shell, right?
You would think, yeah, yeah, just a husk. Um, I think that like this card in particular is like I know we have spoiled McDonald's at home. Like it's like we have spoiled Hedron crab at home,
Yeah.
right? But like this mechanic has proven itself powerful
Hmm.
over the years, so I'm going to assume that it is powerful now.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree with you.
So like I think that there will be a deck that will kind of use this, especially if in like later sets they seed it with more like enchantment-y stuff.
Hmm. And we just had the new classes or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So there are some enchantments that you want to play.
that are actually good. Yeah.
Yep. And we got one left. This is Impending. Impending, I believe, is only on a cycle of 5 mythics.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's on anything else other than these overlords. So Impending offers an alternative cost. If you choose to cast a spell for its impending cost, it'll enter with a number of time counters on it that are referenced in the impending. We have Overlord of the Hauntwoods here. That's 3 green for a 6/5 with impending 4 or 1 green. So if you cast it for its impending cost, it'll be 1 green, have 4 time counters on it, and then you'll remove at your upkeep, I'm assuming.
Oh.
Oh, at the beginning of your end step, you remove a time counter from it. And then when the
Okay.
last one's removed, it turns into a creature. So you cast it for I see what you did
Oops.
there. You cast it for its impending cost, and it's just an enchantment. This one has 4 counters on it. And then at the beginning of your end step, you remove a counter. And when the last one's removed, it becomes a creature. So this would turn into a 6/5, and then regardless of whether it is an enchantment or an enchantment creature, it has whenever Overlord of the Hauntwoods enters or attacks, create a tapped colorless land token named Everywhere that is every basic land type.
I mean, it's a 3-mana ramp spell
Mm-hmm.
that also like turns into a payoff later on. Like it's kind of like, oh, what is he called? Territorial Stomper,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where it's like not really a creature, it can't attack or block,
Right.
and then eventually becomes a creature.
Yep.
Is there stuff that removes counters in current standard?
Um, I don't know. Is there? There was a card in Modern Horizons, wasn't there?
I think so. I am looking for. I am currently. What is future standard? I am currently looking. Because we have a bunch of counter stuff. Like I thought there was like a black like remove some number of counters things.
I think that was in Modern Horizons.
Okay, maybe. Uh,
If
okay, well, Glissa
yeah.
remove up to 3 counters from target permanent.
Oh, there you go.
So like if Glissa gets in and brings the beats,
Yep.
like you can like flip your thing early.
The same turn.
Yeah, the same turn. Like if you went like Glissa into this attack,
Yeah.
they're
It's
kind of like priced in.
it's relevant that you don't. You mentioned flip. You don't flip it. Like this thing
Oh yeah,
for
just
its
becomes
impending
thing.
cost it's an enchantment. Like it's in play as an enchantment. It's not suspend where it's off in exile. It is in play as an enchantment. So kind of like the Theros gods.
Mm-hmm.
They would enter as just an enchantment and then become a creature whenever the conditions met. The condition here being it not having any time counters on it.
So there's render inert, 2 and a black, remove up to 5 counters from target permanent, draw a card.
Oh, okay.
So like that's pretty all right.
Yeah.
Uh, so like that like kind of gets the job done. Like if you had other things, like you could play like um render inert, Glissa,
Mm-hmm.
and like other and like then some of the impending cards and just like get them right away.
Yeah.
Like have a bunch of ways that like 8 ways that you're pretty sure that you can like do the thing.
Yeah.
It's funny that like the big thing that's happening in this standard is Innkeeper's talent,
Yeah.
double the amount of counters you put on things. And now it's like that's the last thing you want with these things.
Right.
I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna put 8 counters on it. I will see you next game
Yeah.
with this coming off.
Well, I haven't looked at the rest of them, but like this looks solid. I think both halves of this are solid. A 5-mana 6/5 that ramps you every time it attacks is good. Like that's a card that would see play. And
Yeah,
like a 3-mana ramp spell is probably also good.
the I mean the 3-mana ramp spell is like always good, right?
Right.
So we have the red one is Overlord of the Boiler Bilge.
Okay.
It's 2 red red, or sorry, 4 red red for a 5/5. And when it enters or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target.
Okay. So it's Fury.
So yeah, well, it doesn't get to split it.
Yeah.
And then the impending cost is impending for 2 red red.
Okay, so not as cheap.
So there's a 4-mana deal 4
Yep.
that becomes some part of a Inferno Titan.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, that kind of makes sense because this white one's kind of like Gravy Train.
Yeah, it is kind of like Grave Titan, which is where that they color shifted the
Yeah.
Grave Titan.
Yeah. Wonder
Uh,
what the black one is.
They don't have it.
Not out yet.
Yeah, unless you don't get one because you have the like
Oh, the big bad.
Volgavoth.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Uh, And then, yeah, we don't have the blue one yet.
No, the blue one's
No,
here.
we do. Yeah,
Overlord of
okay,
the
never mind.
Flood Pits. 3 blue blue for a 5/3. Impending 4, 1 blue blue. Flying. When it ETBs or attacks, draw 2, discard a card.
I mean, that for 3 mana is like a thing that has worked in the past.
Yep. I mean, this is kind of a shoe-in for Yorion, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like these, and then there's the creatures. It doesn't really have a mechanic name per se, but like the creatures that are enchantment creatures that die and then just become the enchantment.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
There's a white one. Here we go. Enduring Innocence. It's one white white for a creature enchantment. Sheep Glimmer.
Okay.
It's a 2/1 with lifelink. And whenever one or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, draw a card. This ability triggers once each turn. And then when Enduring Innocence dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment.
Hmm.
It's not a creature,
Right.
is the reminder text. Um, like that, like with, this, I'm assuming it's a cycle.
Yeah.
This cycle of creatures, or if there's more of them, with Enigmatic Incarnation,
Mm-hmm.
right? All these enchantment creatures make it so you like have more creatures that are payoffs,
Yeah.
right? Because like you would run into this thing where you're like, you know, the chain would stop.
Yep.
Like now, like you just have more things that you can chain through.
Mm-hmm.
Because right, you could like you could put the 6/5 on the green one into play, which is a 5 mana card.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could get your one copy of the red one the next turn,
Yep.
and then you could get your white one
Yep.
and just go all the way up the chain.
Yep. The I mean, all of these seem to, both the overlords and those enduring cards, both seem to play well with flicker effects too,
Mm-hmm.
because you can cast for the impending on the overlords and then flicker it if you don't want to wait around for the thing to happen. And then the enduring cards you can, trade off in combat and then flicker it and get it like it's a creature again.
Yeah, like let it die and then have some blink effect. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Um, yeah, this is the maybe my spec on Enigmatic Incarnation will pay off.
There you go.
Um, so yeah, because like hey, I stack my enchantment, I keep its ability, and then I go get another enchantment. I just keep this thing going.
Yep.
All right. What else do we
Does
have?
it
Is there any
return it to the battlefield? So these would trigger
eerie?
Eerie twice also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
wonder if that's just going to be a rare cycle or if there's going to be lesser rarity ones.
yeah, like uncommon ones or whatever. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of them. Have you seen? They've got new ley lines.
Yeah, I saw Leyline of the Void was in this set. I didn't know
Oh, it
if they.
is.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were
There it is. You're
making new
right.
ones or if.
There's ley line of transformation. It's the blue one. Uh, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type. Are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you
Hmm,
control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield.
that seems alright.
Yeah. And then the red one, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single creature, yeah, a single creature you control, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Oh, that seems great.
I guess you like play this and then you just like go off with like monstrous rage and kill your opponent on turn 2.
Yeah, or like all of the red cantrips.
Oh yeah, like that's good. Like target creature gains whatever, draw a card.
Yeah.
Might of the Is it Might of the Meek?
Yep. Yeah, the new one is Might of the Meek. There's also was it Crash Through, and
It just crash through targets, right?
I think
Or
so.
because there's some that are like just like your creatures gain first strike,
Yeah,
creatures gain trample.
yeah.
So yeah, but like yeah, you just and then there's Leyline of Hope.
Oh,
Oh
what's that
God,
one?
if you would gain life, you gain that much life plus one instead. As
Unplayable.
long as you have at least seven more life than your starting life total, creatures you control gain plus two plus two.
No, well, that's not awful.
That's not awful. It's like it's
I don't think it's playable, but it's not awful.
it is Righteous Valkyrie
Yeah.
in leyline form,
Yep.
which is
I
interesting.
mean, Righteous Valkyrie will win a game in a heartbeat.
It will, but it also got to attack. It also sometimes was a 4/6.
Yeah, but you had to pay mana for it.
True, true.
And like redundant copies of this aren't dead.
Yeah, because it just like yeah they stack and it
Like
gets bigger and bigger.
yeah, like a lot of with like Leyline of the Void or Leyline of Sanctity or whatever, like redundant copies are just kind of blank cardboard.
Hmm. Um. So anything else? So we do have like just random mechanics in the set.
Yeah, there's
I messed
Delirium I
this up.
mentioned.
Oh yeah, Delirium. Which remember when we did Bloomborough, which seems like we did it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, why do we have Threshold? I thought Delirium was the solve for Threshold.
Oh, don't worry. Now we have Delirium and Threshold.
Yeah, at the same time,
Yeah.
seems awful. Um, you see, we have Ninjutsu back,
Yeah. One card.
one card, Kaito, and then I thought this card was in the last set because they spoiled it forever ago. The Wandering Rescuer that
Hmm.
has Convoke.
Yep.
Why? Why is it so hard all the time?
They're deciduous. They can use them whenever they want.
I guess they just gave up. They're just like, we'll just whatever we
Which
want to do, we'll do.
I mean, that's fine. I think that's one of the things I like about one of the redeeming qualities about Modern Horizons is that you get like random one off or two off cards that have, insert some mechanic that plays well here.
Hmm.
And you don't have to, devote a whole swath of your set to like making a mechanic work. And I
Hmm.
think things like Delirium and Convoke are, they're good for that sort of slot where like you don't need a whole lot of build around to make them work. I think most sets nowadays have some sort of self mill theme in green and or black, so Delirium's kind of a gimme, especially when you
Yeah.
have like a heavy enchantment theme with like enchantment creatures. Turning Delirium on is really not that difficult.
Yeah, because you get like two all the time.
Yeah.
And then, gosh, we have another common that is like, it's a 4 mana 7/6 trample. Sorry, Colossal Dreadmaw. We thought the Moose had you. And this has forest cycling too, so we just keep getting like
Yeah.
forest cycling creature for two. But they also did something interesting that like is gonna be fun and limited. There's Altanka, the thrice called.
Hmm.
It's a 7 mana, five green 9/9
Holy
with
moly.
trample. And whenever this thing becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card.
Okay.
It has one of the green, discard it. Return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Hmm.
So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But then they have this card called Say Its Name. It's one in the green for a sorcery. Mill three. Then you may return a creature or land from your graveyard to your hand. Exile this card. I said then another paragraph. Exile this card and two other cards named Say Its Name from your graveyard. Search your graveyard, hand, and/or library for a card named uh, Altanka, the thrice called, and put it onto the battlefield.
Oh.
If you search your library this way, shuffle.
Is that
Activationally, he's a sorcerer.
is that a
That's a
reference
common.
to Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice?
I'm assuming so.
Altanach, Altanach, Altanach.
Yeah, but like Altanoc's an uncommon, and
Oh,
say its
holy
name
shit!
is
I
a
didn't even
common.
realize it was an uncommon.
It is a massive uncommon.
Yeah,
It's an uncommon, and say its name is a common. So like you're gonna be able to put this together in limited.
I can't wait to do that in limited.
Yeah, and the fact that you get to discard it and get a land,
Yeah,
right? Like you could have this thing on the battlefield on like turn 4.
that is exactly my kind of limited shenanigans.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, this is nice that they like put this because like this Altonac the Thrice code could be like a rare with
Yeah,
like the amount of text on it and
yeah,
stuff, but then you would never do the thing.
right,
And they're like, no, we're gonna make it an uncommon, and then and then they give you this out of like you don't want this in your hand ever.
right.
We'll just make it like a weird rampant growth,
Yep.
and it is return target land, so it gets any land.
Any land.
I mean, get you kill my dark depths. I mean, you kill dark depths. I just bring it
Oh
back.
yeah, there you go.
Some weird like green black depths reanimator deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what fresh hell is this? Shut up. It's working. It's working. I mean, do you win 100% of the games that you like on turn 2 play say its name, and then your top 2 cards are say its name, and you just
Probably.
like turn 2 9/9
Yeah.
go. I did it. Um, so the mechanics are interesting. Like, it's weird that Delirium doesn't even like get to be its own mechanic in the mechanic thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe that's what happens to mechanics that are used in Horizon sets. They just like become deciduous.
they just become
Because
they
we've
just
had
happen.
like a few sets with Delirium in it now.
Yeah, we have. So yeah, I don't know. Like they just like Delirium.
Yep. Well, you got anything else for this one? Any thoughts about the set now that we've talked about the mechanics? Does it seem aggro?
Um, my first thought is no. Right, like because usually the aggro sets don't like have like the big land cyclers and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the easiest way to push power in a set has been like good 1 drops
Mm-hmm.
and good 2 drops. And like Norin Swift Survivalist, our boy Norin,
Mm-hmm.
is back. So it's an uncommon. It's a 1 mana 2/1 that can't block. Like that screams very aggro in red.
Yeah.
Then
The
there's Clockwork Percussionist. It's a 1 mana, 1/1. It's a red for a 1/1 haste. And when it dies, you get to exile the top card of your library and you get to play it till the next turn. So there's like definitely like some hints at like, oh yeah, there's some pushed aggro cards here.
yeah. The survival mechanic seems like aggro slanted. It definitely wants it's incentivizing you to get into the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because it's like, oh, was it Exert
yeah,
that like didn't do anything unless you like
got in there.
were attacking?
Yeah. And from what I can see, like this set's not full of like there's a card with Convoke, so it's not full of Convoke. I don't
Yeah.
see any vehicles. There's no mounts. So I think the only way you're going to be having your creatures sideways is by attacking with them.
Yeah, and that is usually the sign of the format that is like going to attack. And then there's Acrobatic Cheerleader, 1 and a white for a 2/2 with survival. And if it is tapped on your second main phase, put a flying counter on it.
No, so it just turns
So if
into a
you get
2/2
it
flyer.
in once,
Yeah.
then it just becomes a 2/2 flyer and just beats down.
Yeah.
Like that, like if that thing like that thing can just win a game, right?
That's a
Like,
common.
yeah,
Wow.
you just play a bunch of those and you're just like smashing them.
Yeah.
So,
But then like the flip side of that is rooms are like by definition a mana sink,
hmm
which wants you to play a long game. Manifest by definition is a mana sink,
hmm
which wants you to play a long game. Eerie wants you to play a long game. Impending wants you to play a long game.
yeah, it's one of those things that like I think we've seen this in a lot of sets recently. If there's one or two decks that are aggro,
Yeah,
it pushes so much of the rest of the format out,
yeah,
right? That it just becomes like uh that it just ends up becoming um aggro, right?
yeah,
Because like like Bloomborough has some stuff to do and you can get some long gains, but you could also like have to be like my drafts are like 11 2 drops,
yeah,
creatures and spells, because it's like, well, I can't play fives. And like if you are in a game where like you stumble and then your opponent gets to play like the Gale Wind Moose or whatever, then you just lose.
right.
But there's a lot of games that you just kill them before they get there.
Yeah,
And like that white survivor was also a 1 mana 2/1.
mm-hmm.
So there are two 1 mana 2/1s. No, they're both uncommon, but like that screams like brings the beatdowns.
Right.
And like the white uncommon removal spell kills their thing and gives them a 2/2.
Yeah,
So like you're like, oh man, I don't want to like uh kill their like cheap creature because it might be end up being better.
yeah. I mean, ethereal armor is an uncommon and is definitely an aggro card. Like that will
hmm
just kill somebody out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I know it's hard to say, but like there are some definite like hints that this thing is going to like really, really bring the beats.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out next week when we talk about the limited archetypes, I guess.
Yeah, the rest of the set
The rest of the set.
because it'll be done.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't
So
have. I guess there's a couple signposts, but we won't talk about them right now.
yeah, we got to say something for next week.
Yep.
All right. So with that, I think we got a show.
I think we got a show.
All right. So you're gonna reach out to us and tell us what we should talk about next, or tell us if you think the format's gonna be aggro. You can reach out to us on Facebook, Discord, Twitter, via email on the artist formerly known as X,
Mm-hmm.
and let us know what you think and say hey.
Yeah, hit us up. If you want to support the show, there's two ways you can do it. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, casualtryhard.com/TCG. Surf on over using that link, and any shopping you do will help to support the show. We would really appreciate that. Doesn't cost you guys anything extra and really helps us out. If you want to support us more directly, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg is where you can do that. Chip a couple bucks in, you get access to our unshow, access to my show notes, and you get to support the show. So
Yeah,
patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. Help us out.
please. So with that, we'll catch you on the internet.
We'll catch you on the internet.